What is going on, Outfunders? Hope everybody's having a very tubular Tuesday out there. And yeah, we didn't really do anything on the market this morning for a gap. We pretty much just had a flat open, a little bit of a rise there first 45 minutes. Past 45 minutes, a little bit of a sell down. So that's about how the day's gone. A little bit positive, but not really doing a whole lot. Taking a look at the Qs, a little bit negative, a little bit of a gap down there. Wasn't crazy, but a little bit of a gap down there. So yeah, that's about where we'll leave it. Not a whole lot kind of going on there in the Qs. IWM seeing some pretty good flows though. Nice gap down here. Nice run here for the first hour. Past 30 minutes, a little bit of a pullback here. See what happens here over the next few minutes. Maybe it continues higher. That was just a pullback. We'll find out. DIA, a little bit of a gap up. Quick sell down. A little bit of a bounce. Kind of like a double top right here. About 30 minutes ago. All right. So if we break back down and get below these, maybe like the 403.40 level or 403.20 level, yeah, that could definitely be a head and shoulders. I'd imagine if we do run bullish all the way up to 404.40, which is kind of where that neckline, this little double top is, you probably will find resistance because that's also where we did have like support and resistance before. You know, we broke out, we retested right into that level, and we tried to bounce, but then we broke it back down. Yeah, 404.40 is also going to be a pretty important one. You probably also see some bearishness there, but if we wind up rolling back down and breaking these lows, I'd imagine we probably would see some selling there on the DIA. All right, RSP, a little bit of a gap down. A nice little pop there for about 10 minutes. Other than that, it hasn't really done a whole lot. It did come back down from that, so hit a new daily low about 10 minutes ago. IYT here, out of these, kind of ETFs I track, I usually don't bring up the IYT right away, but I just noticed it's down over 1%. So IYT down pretty good, and most of it's on a gap down, so I didn't even trade it down. So something's going on out there in the transportation world. Nice little gap down there on the IYT. As far as daily picture kind of looks, RSP trying to hang in there on a bounce off the moving averages that have been coming up. So obviously we're getting the bounce. So if we wind up rolling over and rejecting lower and breaking this low that we kind of put in yesterday, you're probably looking for at least a move down to 166 easily. I don't think the 20 would hold at that point in time anymore, because we're trying to bounce off the 10. So I don't think the 20 would hold. You're probably looking for a move probably down to 166, which if we do it quick enough, that's also where the 50 EMA would be. DIA trying to hold that 10 EMA as well. The one thing that DIA kind of has going for it, it's got some previous tops in here, which will also be kind of lined up with the 20 EMA. So there might be enough people that buy off these levels and that 20 EMA that maybe that would support it, pop higher, continue higher. We'll have to wait and see. IWM. Yeah, IWM definitely clearly has gotten the bounce off the pullback into the moving average. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if we run the rolling over, breaking down yesterday's low, then IWM would go lower. Qs. Just kind of getting sandwiched in here. Yeah, not doing a whole lot. Just kind of hanging out, which I kind of like it. Like if you're digging some bearish ideas and stuff like that, that's kind of what you would want to see. That is what you would want to see. Just a little bit of that bounce that we got yesterday. Kind of just hang out, get sideways a little bit, and then maybe we'll see it break down here for the next couple days. SPY also got the bounce. Not really getting sandwiched in between the moving averages. Trying to break above that 10 EMA today. Well, yeah, I'd be curious to see how this thing finishes today, because we're not doing a whole lot. It hasn't had a big intraday kind of move, and so yeah, it's about how it goes on the SPY. Taking a look at the VIX, the VIX. That's my cheer for the VIX, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it had a pretty good move last week. Pulled back this week. Interesting spot here because this was like the previous high that we've had over the previous couple of months back in late May. So that is where it is. Will the VIX start to base here and start to pop, start to move higher? Oof, that'd be a good question. I think I saw. Let me bring up this because I think I saw that people were talking about the MACD was kind of crossing over on a monthly time frame. So on a monthly, which mine are a little bit slower. My MACD lines are a little bit slower. But some people were talking about on the normal MACD lines that they were crossing over. So I don't really kind of jive with that sentiment on MACD lines crossing over because if you look at like 2013, they crossed over, but yet we remained bullish for several more years and definitely months after that. So it's when you're this far low, it's not exactly it's not exactly a good thing to say. Oh yeah, we're crossing over on the MACD. It's a good time to go bearish or buy protection on the VIX. It doesn't. I mean, it just might move back to the zero line and normalize. Which, yeah, I mean, if it does that over a year and a half, then you know you're not. The market's not going to be bearish, and the VIX doesn't really pop. I mean, the VIX just has normal pop periods, but nothing crazy. Nothing like 2018 or 2020 or anything like that. Even 2011. So I wouldn't put too much into it, and I would be looking for other reasons. My personal opinion, or wait for the VIX to give you a little bit better understanding. DXY. So this is one scenario that we kind of talked about the end of last week, coming into this week, was with how we kind of closed here Thursday, Friday with that breakdown that we had last Wednesday. If we see a little bit of consolidation, and you basically say we got that yesterday, if we pop bullish, you probably get bullish on the dollar. I Yeah, I mean, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it. We're getting above the moving average. It's gonna, to me, it'd probably be choppy in here, but I think you got a plenty. I think you got plenty of levels to probably say, you can put in some stop losses, right? You can say you can put a stop loss there. You can put a stop loss, at this like under this support and resistance area around 104, like right there. And then, if things kind of start to look like they're breaking down, you can kind of move it to under some of these kind of days. So you got plenty of spots where you can kind of put it. So if it winds up like chopping and then like starts to like roll over, I mean, you could start out with one down here just because if it comes smashing back down, you can give yourself a little bit of loose room here. But if it comes smashing back down, okay, it is what it is. You gotta have a stop loss. But if it winds up just chopping sideways and it looks like it's gonna roll over, like the moving averages kind of continue to come down and push it down, you can raise your stop losses up, under some of these different levels. So just some ideas there on the DXY, but I think you're probably gonna start to look bullish. I just think those are some pretty solid levels to be having some stop losses at. Gold GLD hanging out for the most part, kind of hitting into that 10 EMA, not really doing a whole lot. How are the futures doing here? Yeah, futures are just kind of hanging out, not really doing a whole lot there. Gold world. All right, 10-year yield popped yesterday when we were kind of on a live stream, which was really kind of interesting. Just like out of nowhere, just went on a run. You can see pretty much ever since then, it's kind of just been fading back down. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but kind of an interesting look. See how this looks here over the next day or two. It's about the best thing I can say. Because I mean, this could all just been a run back higher, and so if it sets up sideways, which I kind of like how far it went, right? All in this bounce move over the past like 3-4 trading sessions, it made it all the way to the 20 EMA, and so if it sets up sideways and consolidates here, and then starts to pop out of here towards the second half of this week, then it won't look too bad. Won't look too bad. 10-2 inversion. Yeah, we got that gap down yesterday, and then we got that run. Up a little bit today. Okay. All right. HYG, high yield corporate bonds, trying to make a push. Okay, so it's trying to make a push. It's gotten to 78.35. People definitely bought the dip from Friday. Got a nice gap up on the HYG yesterday. All right, made a new yearly high. I wanted to see a better breakout. I don't, like a more solid, higher level, I guess, than what it got to last week. Yeah, that's just kind of way I trade, I guess. LQD kind of just hanging out, not really doing a lot, and that's the other thing, man. Like all the other bonds aren't really doing it. You know, TLT's just kind of hanging out. They all moved kind of bearish pretty good yesterday with that move mid-morning on bonds and yields. Oof. Okay. All right. I mean, just kind of hanging out, not really doing a whole lot. Kind of just a resting day from a pretty good move it had yesterday. All right, take a look at sector rotation, financials, discretionaries, healthcare, all outperforming slightly there. Tech, kind of in line with the market. So is industrials. Real estate, a little bit underperformance there. You got materials, staples, communications, utilities underperforming, and energies over the past about 30 minutes have just been dropping off here. Okay. Took a look at energy yesterday, commodity prices, and they had a pretty good breakdown at the end of last week. As far as intraday goes, industrials, tech, real estate outperforming, financials a little bit underperformance there, and then healthcare, discretionaries, utilities underperforming, as well as staples, materials, communications intraday, and yeah, energies, man, you can see them just absolutely getting shredded here over the past 30 minutes.